All right, I'm gonna give everybody a quick lesson on kale. When you buy kale or any veggie out of the produce department, rinse it first of all. Sometimes I even rinse it with vinegar solution because I want to get rid of anything that's been on it. But often they're in that little misting thing, so they're pretty clean, but I just want to usually make sure that they are. Make sure that you cut these ends, okay? Look, I use scissors. I'm technically a florist, but I use scissors on veggies. And put these in water for a while because I'm planning on making a soup with this later with little meatballs, like an Italian wedding soup. But what I was going to say is when you hydrate your kale in particular, before putting it in boiling water, it actually will sustain better. If you throw wilted kale into a soup, it's not going to do well. In my opinion, I've done both with wilted kale and also with hydrated kale. The hydrated kale brightens up really nice and green, and it holds its shape nicely, and it's more of a fun, like a good bite to it rather than just being kind of floppy and almost like kind of gross and sloppy. So anyway, just next time you make a soup, definitely hydrate. This has actually been in water for like less than 2 minutes, and it already feels like it's getting turgid, which is amazing. It's going to be great for the soup. So maybe I'll do a little video with that later. All right, so what I have is I've sauteed like an onion and some mushrooms that I dried, and some fennel, and some garlic, and some celery, and hot red peppers. So I sauteed them down, not too mushy, but just nice and tender. And I turn that off so that can rest now. I have homemade stock, of course. I mean, it's just better. That's going to thaw in this pan with this on low. And then I'm going to make my meatballs, which is just ground turkey, some seasonings, whatever you like, salt, pepper. I did some fish sauce and some nice breadcrumbs and some dried, you might have seen that earlier in the video, some dried cured olives, which I pitted and then chopped. They're very salty, but when you mix them into this, it just gives that like really savory taste too, because turkey is a little bit bland, so I want something a little bit extra in there. I just got to do an egg and mix these up, form them into little balls, and then we are going to be ready to make a nice soup. All right, so here's the deal. Meatballs are finishing up. The broth or stock is almost ready. And I'm gonna just cut my kale now. So here's the trick. You don't wanna eat this midrib here. So what I do is, I just pull this all off. And it's a little more tricky at the end here. And once I get that midrib off, then I chop. Not a lot. I don't want to make this into teeny pieces. Maybe 2 per thing. because that looks so good, and it's such nice and hearty piece of the soup when you actually finally finish it. So I'm gonna go clean these up and get them ready for the stock and finish our soup. All right, so I stripped about half the bunch, so that was like 2 to 3 pieces of kale. Took the mid rib out. Now this is ready. Once my stock is ready, I'm gonna put the meatballs in with all the other veggies that I sauteed. This is gonna go inside. I'm gonna put a little bit of orzo pasta in there, let that cook down, and get the pasta ready. You know, basically let the stock cook the pasta, and it'll be ready. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of fish sauce in this stock. It's a little bland, so I want a little bit of salt in there. I'm gonna do a little tiny drop of sesame oil, some nice ginger powder. I'm gonna add my meatballs into this. Cough. That's it. It's gonna cook for 8 to 9 minutes, and it's gonna be ready to go. Well, it came out very nice. We've got this beautiful soup, homemade stock, kale, meatballs, and some sauteed veggies with some orzo. It's gonna be a really nice dinner.